All right, it is July 13th. It is a Thursday, and Westwood is not cranky. No talk about crankiness today. Hey, choose your path. I shouldn't get so upset, I guess is the point about certain things. But I am passionate, and the whole reason I'm in crypto is because I am passionate. I apologize about these windows. What I said in my last video, I'm unapologetic. You know, is what it is. You either watch or you don't. I'm not sorry. Got the dogs with me, Franny, hi, come on, kisses. Yeah, we almost lost Franny to some squirrels. Can't even say the word, and she's all excited. Tilly, she's yeah, she gets a little upset. Anxiety-ridden dog over here. She's good. She's not gonna jump out the window. This one over here, Franny will. So yeah, here we are, July, approaching the middle of July. The crypto market looks like it's starting to warm up a little bit. Look at the long-term chart of Litecoin. It looks like it could be a breakout point. You know, we've seen many of those. However, we're getting at the end, that apex of that triangle, and it really looks like this long-term thing is ready to pop. And when it does, boy, we'll see where it goes. There is so much being built on Litecoin right now. There was a great conversation last night with, not even sure what his name is. His name is Michael, but it's, oh man, I can't even remember. It had to do with Fanscope. It was Michael and Allie. It was a great space last night. It was their first go at it, and we had a lot of our community members in there and some great questions talking about technology and building on blockchains. And the project's built on Polygon right now, and I think that'll integrate with something called LitVM on Litecoin. And so I brought that up. I said, hey man, you can get some smart contracts on Litecoin, because the majority of the conversation had to do with decentralization, because that is the key going forward. So many platforms right now, it's so easy to just create a smart contract on Ethereum. Ethereum has its issues, you know, proof of stake. A lot of those staking nodes run on Amazon Web Services. That is a very centralized method to do it, because Amazon Web Services has an outage, and obviously, you know, if you're going to attack something, or if there's going to be an outage, that's going to be, you know, that's going to be the place to go. You're going to go for the big fish. Not so decentralized. So I would love to see platforms built on things like Litecoin, blockchains that are distributed. You have a lot of miners at work, been running for almost 14 years. Much more secure method. Very cheap method too, as far as transactions. Look at Ethereum, man, it's brutal. Now don't be jumping out. It's pretty brutal, because when we get a crypto run, when there's a lot of activity, I don't know if I like the way I cut my hair here. You get a lot of activity on Ethereum, and the prices really shoot up. I mean, I've seen Ethereum transactions for $200 to just make a transaction, and that's ridiculous. That's not decentralized. That favors those people who hold a lot of Ethereum because it doesn't affect them. However, if you're sitting there, excuse me, if you're sitting there, you know, with $1,000 in Ethereum and you have a $200 transaction fee, that's not helping the little guy. That makes it very hard to participate in a decentralized network or a platform that might have the best ideals. It locks a lot of people out, and I don't like that. And so my suggestion is, hey, let's look at building stuff on Litecoin. Where we have low transaction fees and the code's efficient, and it's a very solid blockchain that's not going to get reversed by somebody. And Ethereum has been reversed. I mean, that's why we have Ethereum Classic, because that stayed true to the original Ethereum. That is the original Ethereum, just so you know. Ethereum, as it stands right now, it reversed transactions because there was an issue where a lot of people lost tokens, and so they say, oh, let's go back, let's get in the Wayback Machine, hit it, punch it, 88 miles an hour, we're going back in time, and we're going to fix this. That has unintended consequences, and so I'm just not a big fan of it. And I guess the struggle is to build a decentralized platform, because everything at some level has a degree of centralization. It really does. Even the developers, that is kind of a centralized feature where it gets rolled out and pushed. But it ultimately comes down to consensus. You have to have 51% of the miners, or 50% plus one, I guess, to make a change in the code. Now, these second layer platforms, it's a little bit different. It's how the contract's written, the smart contract. But if you put that in the hands of if the people who can vote are the ones that hold the tokens, that tends to centralize power because they're looking out for their vested interest. And so many of these projects, they're treated like businesses, to where, you know, people have money, they go ahead and throw money in there and they want to get their return. So they issue a bunch of tokens, and then you go buy the tokens and they convert it immediately into the base blockchain like Ethereum. And they get paid. And they incentivize themselves and vote accordingly so that they continue to get paid, rather than stick to the fundamentals of what the platform is, or what that project is. And, you know, and that's frustrating. I saw it in 2017 with the ICO craze, and, you know, that taught me a lot. It really did. Decentralization is the key. Everybody needs to be able to vote. Here in the United States, everybody has a vote. We tally those votes up, and, you know, that's who wins. Now, you could argue the Electoral College and the presidency, but, you know, that's another issue, another story. However, the vote usually counts and represents, you know, the people are represented. And I think everybody who participates in the platform, if they put energy into it, should have some say. That's true decentralization. And yeah, I mean, you know, there's that danger of the 51%, where 51% of the people take 49% of the people's wealth in a democracy. And you can change that, because I think of, you know, the Senate has rules to where some votes you need 60%. You could do something like that on those platforms, to where you write that in its constitution or that contract that says, hey, we need 60% participation rate to change it. So there are a lot of things that you can do to build that in. It takes a lot of forethought, but we've got the opportunity to build these things now, because we can transfer value with a blockchain. And what better blockchain to do that on is something like Litecoin. Now, you can do it on Bitcoin. However, you know, again, the transaction fees are going to catch up with you. Digibyte's one you can do. That's a dark horse for the future that I think has a very bright future. You could definitely build stuff on that, and that's very decentralized from a mining aspect. Anybody can do it. You have 5 different algorithms, you know, so that protects it against quantum computing to a great degree. Digibyte's got a lot going for it. It really does, and it's flying under the radar. I really like Digibyte. I drive a Digibug, for frick's sakes. So it was a great discussion. Every Wednesday night, I think they're going to do that. You should check that out. I'll retweet that and try and get the word out on that. But it was a great conversation, you know, from a technical aspect and a philosophical aspect, idealistic aspect. And I think we need to be idealistic, but realistic in how we implement it. But you've got to have those great ideas. You've got to have that inspiration that sparks people who want to participate in something for free in a lot of cases, because you think of a blockchain like Bitcoin or Litecoin, Digibyte, those started out at zero. And the only reason that they are where they are now is because people volunteered their effort and their energy into a belief, into an idea. They had that fire burning inside of them, that fire of humanity, and they're willing to carry that torch for that ideal. It's not about the money. You will be rewarded if you put the work into it. Just like, you know, you've got $110,000 Bitcoin right now. A lot of work went into it. You dance with the universe and you participate, and it will reward you. It really will. And speaking of rewards, I don't know. I feel like we're at a turning point. I feel a lot like there's been a lot of good news today. At a personal level, I'm very encouraged as far as where we're going. I really am. And I think things are turning, and we just have to carve out our own path and really put the energy into those things we believe in. And I think we'll be rewarded in, maybe not financially, maybe financially, but at a deeper level. We have a community, man, that just helps. I'm so fortunate to be surrounded by good people, and I believe it's not by accident. I could have sat back and said, I'm never going to go anywhere. I'm not going to go to a meetup. I'm not going to make videos. I'm just going to invest in crypto, and that's okay. However, you know, I was nudged by people. I was encouraged by people. It's like, you need to do this. I mean, you should really do this. And would I have done it without that encouragement? I don't know. I mean, a lot of people have made me who I am today. And that's not by accident. I use the analogy all the time that I see crypto, Litecoin specifically, as a lighthouse, and I envision it. It's very clear, you know, this lighthouse in the dark and dark seas on this rocky coast. you know, with a nice flat plane next to it, a sanctuary, a safety. And I see that Litecoin as a lighthouse that has called a lot of the wandering boats out there. All of us, we are the wandering boats, called us home for whatever reason. We followed that light. And we came together, and we came from very disparate backgrounds, very geographically isolated, you know, from each other, locations, but it's brought us together. And by doing that, who we are has contributed to make each other better. As a whole, we have risen up. And I'm so grateful for that. And I think there are many spiritual things, many things that we can't really define at work. I feel like, you know, we're putting the band back together. You know, we've done this for ages. And I mean, how many times I've had the conversation where people say, man, I feel like I know all of you. I walk into the room and I'm just immediately accepted in the family. I feel like I know everybody. It's because we're resonating at a different level. We're resonating at a very spiritual frequency. And when you know, you know. There's nothing else to be said. And we don't agree on a lot of things, a lot of us. And I don't agree on XRP. But you know what? I mean, there are people in the community that, you know, that hold that for reasons that, you know, don't apply to me, and I shouldn't extrapolate my feelings out to them. I'm going to give my opinion. But it doesn't mean that, you know, I think any less of those people at all. Not at all. It's just that, you know, sometimes I rant and, you know, I'm going to tell you how I feel. So I love everyone in this community. I am so grateful for everyone in this community. We have helped each other in ways that are yet unseen, and many ways that have been seen. That's what life is. That's what it's all about. It's about lifting each other up and building a community that makes everything better. So I'm just very grateful for that. I really am. I just want to thank each and every one of you. All right, and I want to tell you I love you. I do. Some more than others. So I want these dragonflies. I mean, I've got dragonflies around me here lately. Blue ones. I like the color blue and resonate with that. But yeah, little blue dragonflies, very pretty. I want to give a big shout out. I updated my website, which is a very basic website. It's just content driven. You know, there's no fancy images, advertising, anything like that. I pay for it myself, and I update it myself. That one almost landed on my hand. So on clintwestwood.net, I added a section called cool crypto stuff, or cool crypto gear. I don't know. I may change that up, but I put 3 links down there. I put one to 84 million. You go check out his site. He's got a lot of Litecoin gear you can pay with Litecoin. Much of the stuff that I wear, hats, shirts, you know, the stuff hanging on the wall in the bar, many of those things I purchased from there, and I paid with Litecoin. Another one is arttoy.org. I've got a link on the website. He creates some really cool stuff made out of resin. You know, he just auctioned off. It was on auction at the last Litecoin Summit, a Lester that was like 21 inches tall. You know, it's got the Litecoin face, the Lester head. Really cool. I've got some of the small Lesters. I've ordered some of the trading cards, you know, and I pay with Litecoin because I support that ecosystem. They support Litecoin. They build things for Litecoin. I mean, artistically, out of their own imagination, they create things. And I'm willing to support that. I want to support that. And I want to support the ecosystem by paying with the money, the sound money for the digital age. That is Litecoin. And you can, boom, you send it, it's done. So I'm very grateful for people like that. I'm grateful for Sad Frog. He's got a shop out there too, an Etsy shop. I think he's putting up a website. And I've got a Litecoin ticker on the way. I've got the shipping. I'm going to put that on the bar. It's just a prototype, but the finished product's really going to be awesome. He's got a lot of other ideas. And we talk about these ideas in spaces, and we're stimulating creativity. And that's what it takes. Don't wait for something to happen. Just get out there and do it. And yeah, the first run, it might be, but it's just that innovative, creative process. You unlock something at a deeper level. And art is nothing more than a manifestation of truth in a lot of ways, because it's an outward expression of an inner belief. And that's what it is. You have this inner core belief, and then to be able to express that in such a way that other people hear it, see it, feel it, and it evokes the same feeling in them. You've pulled out that same feeling out of their inner self, and it's just a very expressive form of connection. of truth, of beauty. And I really appreciate that more than anything. I want to live in a world of truth and beauty. And I see it at every level in the Litecoin community, and I want to support that. So go to clintwestwood.net, go to Cool Crypto Gear. There are 3 links down there if you want to buy some really cool Litecoin stuff and other cryptocurrencies, specifically focused on Litecoin, but there's other stuff out there. Definitely go check that out. I mean, support those people. I mean, that's why we're building. We want adoption. We want more people to use this stuff because it is a better form of money. It is a better steward of your energy that you can control and you can send anytime you want, 365 days a year, 366 days on a leap year, 24/7. You can send it optionally with optional privacy. It's an amazing tool that has been built. I talked about smart contracts being built on it earlier. Do not sleep on Litecoin. It is doing all of the things and fulfilling the promise and then some of the Satoshi white paper. It is doing all things and doing it very efficiently, but it's taken time. It's almost 14 years. And if you want something to grow and you want it to be successful, a lot of your energy is going to be, just because you want to spend your energy, supporting something, and the reward will come. And I'm loving to see the rewards come. I'm loving to see, what's up? Yeah, I'm on a video. Yeah, what's up? Huh? No, I just came back. No, it's all good. Okay, have a good day. So, I mean, I love to see the expression of that creativity level for, in this space, because that's really what it's all about. It's so important for us to devote our energy to something, and we will be rewarded. We will be rewarded. And I love to see the fruits of that labor starting to yield. So support those people. clintwestwood.net. A lot of other resources out there, info if it's your first time getting into cryptocurrency. There's background on the blockchains, links to the foundations, really good stuff. And the day just got better. So this keeps getting better, baby. I can't stop winning. I'm going to win so big. We're going to win so big, we can't stop winning. Right, Parker Blair? We're going to win, baby. We're going to win big. It's all about winning. Peace. 2 times. So definitely check that out. Check out the resources on my website, and it's really good. It's good stuff. And any other content out there, any other creators that are creating things that support Litecoin and decentralized crypto in general, I would love to do that. And I've got a lot of YouTube videos out there. Speaking of YouTube videos, tomorrow it's happy hour time. The lovely Litecoin Lisa's YouTube channel. We'll be talking about some stuff, some sad news that happened, for our extended community. We'll talk about that tomorrow. And it's, we're here for each other. This is really what it comes down to. We need to lift each other up and support each other in the vision and the dreams that we have. Keep that lighthouse shining to call more wandering boats in. And my life has changed at many times and many points on this timeline, and it's because of the people. It really is. I watched the video today from the 2024 Litecoin Summit and Paulie P bidding on the painting and the dress that was done there live at the after party, which now both of them hang in the bar here. And I'm so very grateful, and that really gets to me. Going back and watching that, and how that was a watershed moment in one of those moments in my life. A lot has changed since then, and that was kind of a marker point in my own life. And that painting is very representative of a lot of things. So I am so grateful for this community, grateful for all of you. Thank you for spending your energy and watching this and listening to me talk about, just what I think about. So I just want you all to have a wonderful day and know that you can make it better individually. There are things that you can do. Every little thing that you do, when you put good energy out into the universe, it changes everything. It really does. And you don't have any idea how much you affect someone else. It ripples out. See, I got the little XRP in there. All right. I hope you have a wonderful day. So there is some value in it, at some level. I love you all. I do. Keep doing what you're doing. Leave it better than you found it. Always have hope. You be that hope. You be that light. Shine brighter. All it takes is, one match in the darkness, and it diffuses out, and it conquers a lot of darkness. And when you have many matches in the same darkness, it becomes a lighted place. Follow that lighthouse. Meet those wandering boats. We'll no longer be wandering. We'll create our own sanctuaries. We'll create our own freedom. We'll create our own path. We'll create a new future. I believe in humanity. I do. And we just need to wake humanity up. And I think most people are good. And if we can get to that point and all of us play a pivotal role in that, then that's how we make things better, so-called at the grassroots level. So have a wonderful day. I love you all. So very thankful. And trust your instincts, trust your gut. If I hadn't done that, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. And I would not trade anything. I have no regrets. And I am as happy now as I have ever been. I am what I am because of what I've gone through and because of all of you. All right. Have a wonderful day. I love you all.